Hi everybody, it's Honest John. In November of 2012, the Cleveland Police Department got in a car chase. The car they were chasing was driven by Timothy Russell, and sitting in the passenger seat was a woman by the name of Melissa Williams. We'll never know why Russell refused to stop. The chase went on for about 20 minutes. And during that time, police fired 137 rounds at the vehicle. The chase ended in a school parking lot when officers hemmed the car in. There was nowhere for it to go. But the police kept shooting at the car. One policeman, Michael Brello, jumped out on the roof of his police car and fired 15 shots through the windshield, killing both Russell and Williams, who, by the way, were not armed. The police kept reporting that they were being shot at. But the only people that were doing the shooting were the police. Now, the police union is backing those officers, including Officer Brello. Now, this is the same Cleveland Police Department that murdered Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy playing in the park with a toy gun. And the police union is backing them up too. This week, Brello, who was the only officer charged in the incident, I think a whole lot more officers should have been charged, but they weren't. He was the only officer charged in the incident, and this week he was found not guilty. He was acquitted. Definitely a miscarriage of justice. And one of the things that helped ensure that this miscarriage of justice would occur is that the other police officers refused to testify at the trial. 7 of them even invoked their Fifth Amendment rights. Now, of course, we all have our Fifth Amendment rights. And that's a perfect right that they have. But once they invoke their Fifth Amendment rights, does that mean that they still have the right to be a policeman? They may not have the right to be charged with any kind of crime. The court cannot compel them to testify. But doesn't invoking your right against self-incrimination imply that you know that you've committed a crime? Now, this incident, along with many others, resulted in a federal investigation of the Cleveland police. And in the report that finally came out, it was stated that the Cleveland police routinely engaged in excessive force. Not only that, but they often used tasers and chemical sprays on suspects, not to subdue suspects who were resisting, but just to punish them. The Cleveland police were also in the habit of pistol whipping people. They even had one incident where, as an officer was pistol whipping a suspect, his gun went off. So now the Cleveland Police Department is going to be supervised by the feds. The city of Cleveland has settled with the federal government, and there are certain reforms that have been mandated, but they don't have any choice. They're going to have to implement these reforms. Now that sounds good, but can this police department really be reformed? It operates like a criminal gang. Do you think that federal supervision could reform the Crips or the Bloods? Is federal supervision enough? Now, at the same time as this has been going on, we are now hearing about a spike in violence in the city of Baltimore because the police are refusing to do their jobs. And this is another example of police impunity. You can't tell the police anything. You can't charge a policeman. They get all upset. They refuse to accept the fact that maybe it's just possible they've been doing something wrong. And because of that, they refuse to learn. And so when they don't get their way, they have their little tantrum. And the citizens of the city that they're supposed to be serving are the ones who pay for it, the ones who suffer. I don't think that you can reform the Baltimore Police Department either. I think what should happen in both of these cities, Cleveland and Baltimore, is that the cities should enter into a temporary contract with either the state police or the sheriff's department to take over policing in their cities. They should disband their police department and start from scratch and put together a police department that is vetted, that is trained properly, and that will not conduct itself like a criminal gang. I think these police departments, many of them that we have in this country, are so far gone that that's the only solution. You can't fix them. Their mentality will not change. They're criminal gangs, no different than the Bloods or the Crips. They need to be done away with. Thanks for listening.